California's homicide rate is spiking, but California's liberal politicians aren't worried about fatalities from that. No, they're worried that your gas stove may kill you. That's right. Coming up, we'll talk about a crazy law that they're proposing as part of their effort to ban gas appliances in all California homes. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California. And in California, we suffer under the Green New Deal, the greedy new steel, as I call it. This is a crackpot, extremist set of policies that Democrats are proposing that they say will save the environment. But not only does it not help the environment, in most cases, it's hurting the environment. It is increasing your cost of living and dramatically reducing your convenience and your quality of life. Everything about the Green New Deal, as you look at the implementation here in California and the proposals that are being made across the country with AOC and Biden leading the way, every single bit of data shows that it's not helping the environment because the Green New Deal is all about a war on carbon. And of course, India and China have not at all reduced their carbon emissions. Instead, they have expanded and spiked them. So if you're going to save the planet, you're going to have to reduce everything. Again, assuming you buy into their argument that carbon is the enemy and going to kill us in 12 years. But there is one thing that we know is happening. We know for a fact that costs are going up when you implement Green New Deal ideas. And we know for a fact that things are less convenient. I mean, think about it. They take away your gas-powered car. They put you into an electric vehicle or a bus transit, which is less convenient, the transit side. And the electric vehicle is more expensive and the energy is no longer reliable. Oh, and by the way, getting back to the environment, not only are we not going to reduce carbon emissions if the other countries don't play ball, but in most of these proposals, they end up hurting the environment more. And we have a whole bunch of podcasts on it. But, the plastic bag ban in California a few years ago resulted in 47% increase in plastic bag waste being put into our landfill because people bought the thicker bags and just threw those out the same way they got the flimsy bags and threw those out. Thicker bags equals more weight in our landfill, more plastics, more detriment to the environment. Another example, they cut back on our water supply, and that means that we have less water for farmland management. And if you know anything about the 1930s and the Dust Bowl, when you cut back on water and you're not able to manage the lands and use water to keep all that dirt and dust on the ground, it goes where? It goes into the air. And of course, that causes all sorts of air quality problems. That's why Bakersfield now has worse air quality than Los Angeles because of all the farmland that has gone fallow, and we no longer use water to manage the land and keep the air clean. Or here's another one. They ban natural gas appliances. 98% of the energy value of natural gas, when consumed at the source, is recouped. So if you're using a flame to heat your water in a water heater, or using a flame to cook food on your stove with natural gas, 98% of the energy is utilized in that transaction. You're getting that return on investment. If you decide to replace all of that with electric appliances, then where are you going to get your electricity? Well, because we can't power everything by wind and solar because the sun's not always out and the wind doesn't always blow, what are we using? You guessed it, natural gas. And what they do is they use natural gas at a power plant far, far away from you. And that natural gas spins a generator, a turbine, and that generates electricity that then is powered and transported all the way to you. You get 35, maybe 40% of the value of the natural gas in terms of a return on investment, in terms of what you're able to actually harness. You're losing some, 63% or so of energy. My mama taught me environmentalism meant waste not, want not. But that's exactly what the Green New Deal is forcing us to do. And so, and put aside the fact that I don't think electric appliances are as convenient. Try, getting through 4 or 5 sets of showers in the morning when you have a, family of 2 adults and 3 kids, when you're using electricity to try to warm your water. Doesn't work. Or, try being a foodie and cooking on an electric stove. It's not the same. You know it deep in your heart. It saps the joy out of life. So electricity to power these appliances will lead to less environmental outcomes. It'll lead to a higher cost because now we're utilizing a limited set of energy sources for electricity, which will be making things more expensive. And by the way, when you waste 60% of natural gas, it means that you're having to buy more natural gas, transport it, and whatnot. So that's going to increase the cost per kilowatt hour. And of course, it saps the joy out of life. Now, California has proposed to actually do an outright ban on natural gas. It's been in the works for the past 10 years, and the implementation of this natural gas ban kicked into high gear about 5 years ago, when several cities, now we're up to 36 cities in the state of California, banned natural gas appliances, any new construction from having natural gas appliances. But a lot of those cities, working with the California Air Resources Board, which is an unelected bureaucracy of environmental wackadoos, zealots, they decided we're going to ban existing appliances so that, we'll phase it in. We'll say, if your water heater breaks, you have to get a new electric water heater. As some cities said, no phase in. We're just going to say we're shutting off the gas in 2 years. You've got to do retrofits. San Francisco did that. San Diego was saying that they were going to do it by 2033, a little, farther off in the future, but same outcome. Try getting an electrician who's available and try finding an appliance that is electric when you have a massive spike caused by government mismanagement, a perversion of the marketplace by having these mandates suddenly crushed onto these communities. It'll absolutely be unworkable. And look, nothing about these things are ever workable. They're also not legal. And so in Berkeley, the natural gas appliance ban in that city was challenged by the California Restaurant Association, and a federal judge in March of last year, March of 2023, ruled it to be illegal. That federal judge at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals said that only the federal government, under federal law, can regulate appliance energy standards and efficiency standards, and the choice of how we manage the environmental performance of appliances. Federal law makes that their purview. And now the Biden administration is racing to do rulemaking to help California implement these crazy rules. But in the meantime, these politicians have decided to use scare tactics without any science to support this. There's no evidence to support this. The leftists out there are saying that natural gas appliances are dangerous to you. They will kill you. Step away from the stove. It is dangerous. It's the Michael Myers of your kitchen. There is absolutely no data to suggest that natural gas appliances are lethal or in any way dangerous. But this is the urban myth, the misinformation that they're pimping out there. And now California lawmakers want to impose a warning label on your gas stove. Again, this is all scare tactics. It would require a warning label, educate and frighten users or customers about pollutants that can be released and linked to respiratory illnesses. Now, mind you, I would say that the biggest people responsible for respiratory illnesses in the state of California in recent years have been the politicians with those bad water policies in Central Valley. But hey, the legislation was approved this week requiring labels on any gas stoves or ranges made or sold after 2024 online or sold in a store after 2025. I don't know why there's a difference in the years. They must, again, There's probably some bizarre bureaucratic reason for it. I don't have that. I don't understand what they're trying to do there. But anyway, the bill is now pending in the state Senate. I'm assuming it's going to pass. The lying Democrat, Assemblywoman Gail Pellerin, representing Santa Cruz, with all of her woke liberals. Despite the growing body of evidence about the health risks of gas stoves, most of this isn't common knowledge. No, it's also not common knowledge because it's absolutely not common sense. It's stupidity. It's not true. This bill will help the purchaser make more informed decisions about gas stoves and oven appliances. We want to scare the crap out of them. Nah, whatever. Democrats voted for it. Republicans largely voted against it. No debate. Why is there no debate? Hey, Republicans, would you like to speak out and say something critical or opposing this bill? Of course not. Couldn't have any Republicans actually step up and speak for the rest of us voiceless masses, right? So yes, your stoves will have a warning label all over them. And, the reality is this. They're going to continue to go after your gas appliances until they ban them, making your life less convenient, making your life more expensive as we head into the weekend. We've got cost increases in restaurants because of the minimum wage bill that was just imposed, as well as a number of other costly mandates. I mean, minimum wage is one cost driver in California, but also it's just a toxic environment. All the regulations, shakedown lawsuits like ADA lawsuits and PAGA lawsuits. But here's this story from Fox Business. California businesses band together to demand real answers on blue states' high costs. But the reason why I want to share this with you is they've got some examples in here that are just eye-popping. Ever heard of the $5 footlong Subway sandwich? I'm sure you have. The $5 footlong Subway sandwich in 2019 actually cost $5.50. Back in 2014, it was like $4.99. It was actually a $5 cost. It now costs $8.49. So basically $3 more than it did just in 2019. Just, less than 5 years ago, we have a $3 increase. That's like what, a 60% increase from the baseline of 2019? It's not a $5 foot long anymore. It's an $8.50 foot long. Soon we're going to be talking $10. Soon being like in the next 18 months, predicting. Chipotle's chicken burrito cost $6.50 in 2019. Now, ready? It costs $10.70. Again, that's like another almost 60% increase in the price of a chicken burrito at Chipotle. There was something about the Big Mac. Here it is. Big Mac sandwich at McDonald's costs $3.99, $4 basically in 2019. Today it's doubled, $8.29. Oh, and I'm sure they've shrunk the bun, shrunk the meat, and all that good stuff. Look, this is insanity in California. They're too busy putting warning labels on gas stoves to worry about the actual cost of food. These Democrats in the state assembly and state senate are untethered from reality. And we need to spread the word about the true impacts to working families in California from their negligent and extremist policies. I'm going to need your help to do that. I want you to go to our website, reformcalifornia.org. This election is pivotal. Elections have consequences. And in the November election, we've recruited better candidates for state assembly and state senate because we want to break the Democrats' supermajority control of the legislature so we can stop bad bills from being pushed through. We also want to advance a number of ballot measures to address the cost inflation in the state of California, rampant lawsuit abuse, and of course, retail theft. But we can't do that without your help. We need you to sign up in a couple ways. Number one, sign up to be a volunteer by clicking on the volunteer button. Volunteering is super easy. All you have to do is share our voter guide come the November election, stuff envelopes, walk your precinct. If you don't want to volunteer, at least do get a copy of our voter guide by signing up on the website reformcalifornia.org. All we need is your first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code. And that way we will use your zip code to send you the right voter guide for your area. We will email and text it to you. And this is so important that you get the plain English voter guide so you know what you're voting on come the November election. And finally, I do urge you to contribute. We are completely driven by grassroots contributors. Our contributors are averaging $67 a year. And usually that's a couple donations per year of $25. I can't do this alone, but we can do this together. Chip in a contribution at reformcalifornia.org so we can continue to lead the Reform California movement to restore some sanity in these policies. Our cost of living is skyrocketing. Our quality of life is plummeting. We cannot afford not to take these actions. Also, 84% of you watching this video are not subscribed yet to this channel. The reason why you should subscribe, well, first, it's free. Second, it keeps you informed as to what's going on in California state and local politics. You know, the liberal media, they censor everything and they don't really give you the truth. This show every day at 5 o'clock gives you the stories and a perspective on the stories that's authentic. You need to know what we are seeing and you need to spread the word to your friends and family. And finally, by subscribing, you help us spread the algorithm to other people around the state, because more subscribers means the algorithm promotes our videos. It's helping us get our message out. So please subscribe and click that notification button so you get informed when we post new stories every day at 5 o'clock. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification button so you can stay up to date on all the developments in California news and politics. Also, please visit the website, reformcalifornia.org, for ongoing news coverage and to join one of our campaigns in the fight to take back our state. If you can, please sign up as a volunteer or chip in a contribution. This episode of Reform California with Carl DeMaio, paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly 2024.